watch where I step because there's all kinds of neat stuff in here. Oh, check this out. Come here. So this is a purple pitcher plant. I happened to see this as I was walking over to that other big trumpet over there. And the purple pitcher plant's a different species. So we have two different species of pitchers that live right here in the green swamp already. And this plant, instead of growing like a tall trumpet, it grows low to the ground and traps insects that are crawling closer to the surface of the ground instead of ones that may fly in and land on the lip of the pitcher, like as in the trumpet pitcher plant. Now this pitcher plant, if you look closely, you can see on each leaf they have little downward pointing hairs. They're very obvious, and those little hairs, when an insect lands on that lip, on that peristome, it can't go up, it has to go down, and so as it goes down it gets closer and closer to certain death in the stomach, if you will, of the plant. Beautiful pitchers. There's a very young one. Must not be a half an inch across. Now these pitcher plants have a very complex system of feeding. The purple pitcher doesn't produce enzymes like the trumpet pitcher, but it does have a very complex community of organisms living in the pitcher. Down inside these pitchers there are a certain type of mosquito larva that lives in the pitcher, the pitcher plant mosquito, which works to grab a hold of any new insects that fall into the pitcher. It then shreds them up into little pieces and eats what it needs, and then drops the rest down to the bottom of the pitcher, where smaller organisms like bacteria and fungi work together to shred and take apart the pieces of the insect even further into materials and components that the plant can then digest. It's a really amazing little ecosystem inside the pitcher. And if the pitcher plant mosquito was to, go extinct or be lessened in numbers due to spraying of toxic insecticides, well then that could hurt the pitcher plant, because how would it be able to feed if it didn't have pitcher plant mosquitoes? Now luckily the pitcher plant mosquito doesn't bite humans, so you don't have to worry about that. Very cool plant, the purple pitcher plant. Look at the lynx spider. It's like each big pitcher has its resident lynx. So these spiders have figured out that the pitcher is a great place to catch insects. So cool. What an amazing adaptation for survival it is to be able to eat insects. And then a further amazing adaptation for survival to hang out on a plant that eats insects so that you can catch your own lunch and really not have to work for it. Spiders relying on the plant to attract food. These are very young pitchers. There's not very many. Oh, here's one. It has some critters down in it. Camera doesn't want to really focus on it, but there is some bugs down in this pitcher. Leave Mr. Lynx there alone to protect his pitcher. Very cool. If you ever visit the green swamp, be very careful where you walk, because there's pitchers hiding down in the brush, in the grass, and not just pitchers. There could be Venus flytraps. Got to really watch where you're walking. There's all kinds of beaten trails through here, and it's best if you stick to the trails if you don't know what you're doing. Look at this one, just glistening with nectar. Wow. I wonder if he's full of anything. Nope. Look at all of the pitcher plants. Sticking up above the grass with their mouths agape, waiting for the unsuspecting insect who thinks he's going to get a nice meal of a sweet, sugary substance, but instead he dies and digests in the bowels of a plant. Is that cool or what? Now this one's been getting some good sun because look how coppery colored it is. Really pretty. I see a big spider over on that one. Let's check him out. It might be another link spider. Oh, I think that's a jumping spider. Yeah, it is. He's going down. Man, that's a cool spider. So you can see these pitcher plants don't only eat insects, but they provide a home for arachnids also. Look down in there. There's a little beetle. A misfortunate little beetle who's recently fallen in. He will become pitcher plant very soon. Very cool. While walking over here to look at these purple pitchers, we discovered another species of pitcher plant. Hooded pitcher plants. And you can see how their peristome curves over to protect it from even more intrusion of rainwater than the trumpet pitchers. And if you look on the back of the pitcher, see these white spots? Those little white spots act like windows. So when an insect flies up into the pitcher, there's light coming through from the other side, and it thinks it can fly on through one of the holes, but instead it runs into a wall and falls down into the soup below, which then of course digests it, just like the other pitchers. Very cool. Here's one that has been tinged a deeper red by the sun. Beautiful. Isn't this just an incredible place? There's pitcher plants everywhere of all different species. The trumpet pitchers, the purple pitchers, and the hooded pitchers, and there's Venus flytraps. If you were a bug, this would be a terrible place to be because you would die. What a cool place. And just look out there. Pitcher plants poking up out of the grass everywhere. Yeah. First reptile of the day. That's a 6-lined. Is it? Yeah. Nice. Good spot.
Restless nights and broken dreams, no peace of mind, no mending me. You tore apart, now all I see. Restless nights and broken dreams, you tore apart, now all I see.